Welcome, guys and gals. Welcome to the Lost World Museum. We are streaming live on TikTok from Sacsayhuaman. This is Peru, just right outside of Cusco. You're in for a real treat. We just went through the entire ruins, or at least some of them. Some of them have been closed off because of the COVID. They're still just getting going. But we took a ton of video today, and I'm going to show you the ruins as I go back. As we leave the park, I'm going to go through and I'm going to relive some of the information and the things that we saw. So here we go. Here we go. I'm going to switch this around so you guys can see it. There we go. All right. So, and I may or may not be able to see your questions, so give it a try. There's my wife Kristen down there videoing us going live. We're in Sacsayhuaman. We're just outside of Cusco, Peru. Wave to everyone, Kristen. These are the megalithic ruins of Peru, just one set of them. This right here, you'll see a video that we just did. This right here is a doorway, and we're asking, is it a doorway of giants? It's 11 feet tall, and our guide said that the lintel there was even higher at one point. These stairs are very interesting as we're navigating down them. You got to go 1, 2, then go down. 1, 2, then go down. And what's really interesting is that when we get at the base, there was a Peruvian archaeologist that told my wife last year that these stones right here were not there originally. So you have a 30-inch step when you step up here to get up to the next step. And let me back up and show you just exactly how tall this is. Yeah, I know it sounds like sexy woman, but it's Sacsayhuaman. That's the actual pronunciation of it. So here we go. We're going to head down the steps. Welcome, everyone. This is the Lost World Museum. This is John Adolfi and my wife, Kristen, along with my cousin Kyle, or nephew, sorry, Kyle. And we're broadcasting live on TikTok. I don't know if anybody knows TikTok. You're on TikTok right now.
All the time.
That's right. We are live on TikTok. Very good. So we're in the ruins right now, and we are having a ball, a blast. That right across there is the seat of where the king would sit. You see the split in the rock over there? I'm going to try to zoom in on it a little bit. We can't go over there, but that's where the king would sit. Whether it be actually or symbolically, I don't know. This is a huge courtyard. And because of COVID, there has been little in the way of tourism down here. So you're seeing a really stripped down version of how many people would normally be here for this. And I'll tell you a little more as we get going here. This right here, and we'll show you a video of it. We shot a special video of the tallest of the stones. This right here is, for those of you in Europe, outside the United States, 7.14 meters tall. Comes out to about 24 feet tall. So 2.5-story rock. These are made out of basalt, which is volcanic rock. I did a little scratch test on one of the rocks, but it may have not been these right here, but it came out like a Mohs 9. A Mohs 9 means it's really hard stuff. Mohs 10 is the hardest. That's diamond. So these are one step down or in between 9 and 10. See this one right here? This is the heaviest stone. Now our guide said this wasn't necessarily moved. It could have been in situ, meaning that it was carved while it was sitting here, but it is nevertheless big. It's 317 tons. That's, 360 tons, which means it's 720,000 pounds. But they did fashion it for a purpose. So there you go. Here's some terraces across the way. And on the other side, where we can't go, they'll be opening this back up in the fall. There is a rock that is, even the Peruvians here are just blown away. They're not blown away by this stuff. More so they are of the rock that was carved with steps, and then it looked like a lightning bolt hit it, snapped it from where it was, and rolled it over. I mean, it's like, I'll get you the dimensions, and we'll talk about that because I didn't know it was right in our own backyard here. Forgive me if I'm not being able to recognize you guys. It's so bright out here. The thing that we videoed also, you'll see, is the scoop marks. You'll see them throughout almost all of these. And the guide said what they did was they brought these, they quarried the stone, brought them here, and then they had workers smoothing the stones with some kind of implement, and then it hardened. And they did this on all the stones. Wait till you see some of the examples that we'll show you in the video. Check this out. So what in the world is this volcanic rock doing soft? One theory is that they were able, look at this one, look at the swipe mark here. One thought is that, and even with the erosion over the last 2, 3, 4,000 years, however many, you can still see it clearly. What do they do in softening rock? My understanding is they had a formula for it. Certain herbs, and they would make a solution, and they could put it on there and soften it, and then mold it. There's no way, yeah, there's a way. I don't know how practical it is. Look, I'm going to get you really close here, guys. There's a little bit of space in between these massive rocks. These rocks are huge. We're talking, that's probably a good 9-10 feet tall right there. How do they fit them together so perfectly? And my other question is, how do they get them of different sizes like this, positioned in such a way so that one doesn't, one that's heavier doesn't sink into the ground, and one that's less heavy doesn't sink in the ground as much? And then it's not like you got equal distribution of weight. You've got all sorts of different varying sizes and stuff laying on this. So you don't have the same amount of pressure, same amount of weight going straight across. It's all varies. How do you think this through? Look at the scoop marks on all of these. We're coming to you live from Sacsayhuaman, which is right outside of Cusco, Peru. And we're on a hunt to find evidence of giant humans, ancient technology, and try to understand the megalithic structures that were created here in Peru. And we've just only begun our journey. This is day 2 of a 7-day journey. And again, look at the scoop marks. And the indentations, that is, look, it's not to say you can't take a very hard rock and a chisel or whatever and do that, but why? But if these did come from the quarry soft, or they softened them after they brought them from the quarry, and that's how you get them to fit so perfectly, and then you see how they're rounded as they come out. My understanding is that rounding of them coming out like that and rounding them as it comes up there was to help dissipate just making sure everything is good here. It's helped dissipate the earthquake. Now, you gotta understand, from a creationist standpoint, that makes perfect sense. The earth had just got done with a huge cataclysmic thing called the worldwide flood, where there was earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, floods, everything, right? And as it's settling down, you're gonna have the most earthquakes, frequency-wise, after the flood, as the earth settles down. You have Pangea going on. I mean, it was nuts for a very short period of time and then beyond. So they must have experienced enough earthquakes to know we got to build structures that are going to be earthquake proof, and that's exactly what they did. But how they did this, incredible. Incredible. It's so incredible that von Daniken, you know, came here as well to document these and said aliens had something to do with it. Because he recognized at least that a higher order was involved in the technology that it would take in order to do this. Now, I believe his conclusions are incorrect, but the point is that he was trying to make sense and created his own worldview. He may not have been the one who originated it, but we'll just say for the sake of discussion that he did. 1969, he came out with his book, Chariots of the Gods. Let me see if I can get you as close as I can get you to, this is massive. This rock right here in front of me is a good 6.5 feet tall. And then you got another one that's about a good 8 feet tall. And another 3 feet tall on top of that. And there you go. How do you get rocks this large, that precise of a fit between them? How do you do that? I mean, it just seems impossible. And by the way, real quick commercial break, if I may. Those of you who really dig this stuff, you know, I could ask you to hit the plus sign. If you want to see more of our live stream as we continue this week, you're going to want to push the plus sign or follow us, because we're going to be coming on TikTok and doing this. Also, too, if you want to support the YouTube channel, we just put up 2 Peruvian YouTubes this morning. Subscribe to it. You'll get alerted when we go live, which we did this morning at 5 a.m. I was on TikTok and also YouTube between 5 and 6 a.m. this morning, explaining what we did and what we're about to do. So you can do that. Now, if you click on the ProLink link in my profile page, that'll open up a world to you. There's 12 different links, and it's right there in the profile page. It'll say ProLink / Lost World Museum. And for those of you wondering, how do I get to your YouTube channel? Just go to YouTube and look up Lost World Museum. Lost World Museum. But you can also go to the profile page, click on the ProLink right there. Instagram, place to sign up for our newsletter, which we'll be sending out Monday at 10 a.m. And so there you have it. All right, so on with our program. Hello from Greece. I'm going to read a few of your comments. Where did they get the stones from? Okay, so what they said is that this whole area is volcanic, and all they did was quarry them right here. Some of the stones, some of the smaller stones, they quarried from 6 and how many kilometers away was that? 8 kilometers? Weren't there 2? There was
8 kilometers and like 24 for the smaller ones.
Yeah, the smaller ones were 24 kilometers away, and then 8 for the what?
I think for
some of the top pieces. I don't know, but they're saying that the larger stones, at least, were from here. So they quarried them right here. I might buy it. So, the premise for our version, at least, of creationism is that these people came here several generations perhaps after the flood. They were still large people, very, very strong, 20, 30, 40 times stronger than we are today. And they also had brains, and they were able to do this. And then the Incas came afterwards, and they capitalized on what they had here. That's one theory. I'm just going to throw that out there. Look at this, though. It's amazing. Kyle, go ahead and stand right in front there, just to give you a sense of scale. How tall are you, Kyle? 5'7". 5'7", okay, so Kyle's 5'7", and of course he's a few feet away from it. So There you go. Thank you. Yeah, it is. Oh, all right. Let me see if I can read some of your questions and/or. We are in Cusco, Peru, at the Sacsayhuaman, which is one of the ruins, megalithic ruins. I think the flood was due to the Ice Age melting. Well, when the Ice Age melted, and this is what creationists and evolutionists both agree on, that when they melted and it rose the ocean up 300 to 400 feet. The continental shelf was originally, all around the world, the original beach. And so if you go with the creation theory, that means that was the original beach after all the water dissipated and went where it's supposed to go, the oceans and whatever lakes. And then after that, you had beach, because you go down there and you'll find sand along in the area of the continental shelf. And then the Ice Age took place. Again, they disagree on dates, but they do agree that after the Ice Age melted, it rose the sea level, that is the ocean, 300 to 400 feet. So if any civilization built megalithic structures on the edge of the continental shelf, well, after a couple 300 years of the Ice Age and the melting of the Ice Age, then you could find megalithic sites underwater. Creationists will tell you that that happened approximately 4,000 years ago. Evolutionists will tell you that it happened 10,000 years ago. Whew, this is intense. Kristen is over here talking to our guide. I'll bring you over there just to let you in on what they're doing.
I'll go.
That was our guide.
He's on TikTok, and we just signed him up under Lost World Museum.
Oh, excellent! You're on TikTok live.
So, yeah,
he just our guide just started following us on TikTok. He's been a wonderful, wonderful help. Gave us a lot of information on Peru. Did the ocean rise before and after the Ice Age, and are we heading towards a new Ice Age? Back in the 1970s and 80s, they said we were heading towards an Ice Age, according to evolutionists and their worldview. But all of a sudden, from that point forward on, we're into global warming. So which is it? A lot of people don't know that. We're so preoccupied with the global warming thing. I mean, it's just a frenzied pace. But they don't realize that just 20 years ago, 30 years ago or so, the scientists said that we were heading towards an Ice Age. And I'm sure if you looked at the data and the interpretation of the data, I'm sure they were showing temperature fluctuations that were going down. All right, so hey, I'm staying out of that one. Yes, Kyle is single. And he's 20 years old. And where do you go to school? RIT? Rochester Institute of Technology. And he's going to be a brain surgeon and make a lot of money. I'm just kidding. He's going to be a physical therapist? Yep, in sports medicine. Perhaps. Something like that. We are sort of inside. It's just layers up that we just came down from there. We'll show you in our videos that we release on YouTube and TikTok. Where are we today? We're in Cusco, Peru at Sacsayhuaman ruins just outside of Cusco, and we're coming to you live. I know it does look like a laser cut it, but obviously something cut it with a little bit of ease. Now, whether that means they had hardened diamond-tipped steel to do this, that would make more sense. Or perhaps they were able to soften the stone and then were able to do what they needed to do in order to get it. What amazes me is the fact that all these stones are so different from each other. I mean, no way would we construct anything like this today, because how could we account for something small right? And then we have a stone that's overlapping one or the other. And how do we know what it's going to, which one's going to sink first? I mean, you know, even look at this. Look at this line right here. Who does this? All right, guys, look, there's a lot of theories that are running around how they do it. When you're here, let me tell you what it feels like. The stones, I think, are maybe about the size that you imagine them when you see them in the photographs and stuff. But when you get the little more detail from the guide, the scooping is what surprised me. Every one of these stones, for the most part, has this scooping indentations in it. And he's saying that the guys or gals or whatever, guys would finish them because they were soft, and then the scoop marks, look at them all. Look at the sun. The sun is hitting it just right. You find this in a lot of different rocks, the scooping or what looks like it was soft at one time, the indentations up there. All those shadows you're seeing are the indentations of the scooping. There, you can see it right there too. Look at it. Look at this one. Scoop, 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 smooth, smooth, smooth. That's what they were doing. Look at the one up there. All right, guys, go ahead and follow us if you want for us to pop up in your For You page when we go live or when we start releasing a lot of these shorter videos, more condensed, more edited, and also to jump over to YouTube and you can see what we did put up there today. Got longer versions, and you just go to Lost World Museum. You can go to the Pro Links page, or you can just go to YouTube and just look up Lost World Museum and subscribe. Hit the little alert bell so that you actually get alerted when we release something, because otherwise you don't get alerted, and it kind of like stinks. I like to know when I like something. I like to know that there's something there. Look at these marks. Look at the scoops. All right, guys. We'll be back on live again, maybe later today. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. This is John Adolfi with the Lost World Museum saying, did we come from an ape, alien, or Adam? We're just adding to the body of evidence right now, looking at it through more than one perspective. The place is absolutely amazing. All right, take care.